A new national poll says there is some distrust of the nation's largest law enforcement agency, Customs and Border Protection. The poll examined immigration issues and what's happening along the Texas-Mexico border. Fox 4's Sean Rabb looks at what the poll tells us. Good evening, Sean.
Hey, Clarice, good evening to you. You know, some of what we're seeing in this poll is surprising. Seems to be a disconnect between what politicians are seeing and saying and what people who identify as voters in this national poll are saying, except it's different from what folks in Texas are saying about the southern border, but all agree the president's not doing enough.
We see net disapproval of the president and the Border Patrol agency in terms of its handling of the southern border.
Voters in a poll taken this month find fault with the president's leadership on addressing issues at the Texas-Mexico border. But of the 1,038 online respondents,
only 21%, so roughly 1 out of every 5, are extremely concerned about the southern border.
Tom Wong is founding director of the U.S. Immigration Policy Center and associate political science professor at the University of California at San Diego. In recent months, the number of illegal border crossings has increased to more than 200,000.
Even if we put extremely concerned and very concerned together, we still get less than a majority of voters who are either very or extremely concerned about the southern border.
A different story when you look only at Texas. A recent U of H poll finding border security is extremely or very important to 71% of registered voters. The national poll also finds voters do not trust Customs and Border Patrol agents.
This is something that is certainly a finding to uplift, one that we didn't expect. We expected this to fall mostly along partisan lines.
Public safety depends on public trust. And there can be no trust if there is no accountability.
3/4 who answered the poll don't believe Border Patrol respects constitutional rights of everyone, including migrants, and agree there should be greater accountability for the CPB. Andrea Guerrero, Southern Border Communities Coalition, wants Congress to listen.
Take into account the lack of trust in CBP when making decisions about policies that would increase accountability and provide pathways to citizenship.
Take away the political rhetoric and say, if there's an asylum seeker requesting asylum at the southern border, should they have an opportunity to have their applications reviewed by a judge? And nearly 3 in 4 agree or strongly agree that that should be happening at our southern border.
Well, like a lot of society, there's a shortage of administrative judges, not enough to hear the claims and review the cases of folks seeking asylum. All of this, of course, points to a greater question, and that is how to fix federal immigration law, one that still has no good answer.